Are we? Welcome everybody to Festival X, the only show out there giving you all the music, all the information about your festival lifestyle. Who's in my Zoom today?
Hello, Liz.
Hello, Bernard.
Howdy, Monique.
How's it going, everybody?
It's
Are you guys all feeling?
Well,
you guys feeling good?
Glad to be here. It's been so long. I'm very happy to see everyone.
We don't usually get this honor of having Liz on the show often, but we're going to enjoy it today. And because we're going to do a little thing called an intimate conversation between our festival addicts here. So we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have a conversation about a lot of the different things that are going on. And the first thing that we really want to talk about is DMX was hospitalized over the weekend, and he had suffered from a drug overdose, and it's led to a heart attack. And so now he's on life support. So for anybody out there who has listened to DMX's music, I know I did. My little angsty teenage self was singing all of the lyrics to his songs. And it's really heartbreaking to hear, that he's on life support right now. So we at the Festival Addicts, we definitely want to send our thoughts and prayers out to him and his family. And we do hope that he pulls through. There's been a lot of activity going on. The Rough Riders actually showed up to the hospital, and they were playing his music outside, and they held a candlelight vigil for him. And so everyone is really hoping and praying that he pulls through from this. So that's definitely something we want to send our thoughts out for, because I need more music from him.
Yes. And we're talking like old school, someone who's been around for decades, who we've listened to, even, and he's not like that old. He's
51 years old.
Yeah. And honestly, that's like, he's 7 years older than me. So I think that's one of the things, like, people do have to take care of themselves, and health is a big issue. And I have had 2 uncles have heart attacks in their late 40s and early 50s. Heart health is super important. So
absolutely.
Anything I could say, it's a lot of it is like what you're eating, what you're drinking, and anything else you're breathing or putting into your body. Just be mindful of the usage and be safe. That's because you never know when something's going to happen.
Yeah. And it's a rough time still. We're still in the middle of the pandemic, even though we're on the rise and, things are starting to look better. The vaccines are rolling out. We've got multiple ones. We're going to talk a little bit later about COVID on the show, but I mean, it's starting to look more promising, and, festival season is going to be starting soon. So we're coming out of this really dark time that we've been in for the past year and 2 weeks. So yeah, but
the longest March ever.
Right? I was just having a conversation with somebody. I was like, you guys remember the longest month of January we had like a few years back? Well, this is completely, it exceeds that by so much. Like, I've never been in March this long before, so it's crazy. But yeah. So in other news, let's continue on with the bad news for a little bit before we kind of switch gears and talk about something a little bit, more happy. So over the weekend, we've also heard about Bassnectar, and this isn't like the first time we've heard that, because hasn't this been surfacing every couple months or so with him? I feel like this isn't the first time I've heard this from him.
Yeah.
Or at least about him.
Well, the news first started coming out, I think it was before Christmas, right?
Yeah.
I think so. And it's just now the legal proceedings are happening. So now it's becoming real. And he's got one heck of a battle ahead of him. And
God.
I think the truth always, no matter what, I always go by the truth will always come out. Mm-hmm. And no matter if it's the next day or 20 years later, it's going to come out. And I think this is one of those cases.
Yeah. So for everyone who may not necessarily be familiar with the whole Bassnectar case, he's being sued right now for sexual abuse of minors, as well as child pornography and human trafficking. And apparently this all started in 2012, 2013. And, you know, the women are now coming forward and speaking of their experiences with the EDM star. So we've reported on this once or twice before, but now, as Liz said, the legal proceedings are happening. So what do you think is going to happen? Like, how do you think this is going to play out, though?
I feel bad for all the people who have Bassnectar tattoos on them. That's about it. There should be a lot of cover-up artists making some money real soon.
Yeah.
But let's also look at it. Space Jesus was in the same spot, and he had the receipts and showed that he didn't do nothing. So I don't want to say not be quick to judge, but let's not be quick to judge.
Yeah.
Let's wait till convictions happen, and then we can start putting them out. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if he did what the allegations say he did, then I really hope that he's punished for what he's done. And if it turns out that people are lying, I hope that they get in trouble for doing something like this. So that's my take on it.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Supposedly there's text messages. So, but we'll see, all comes out and then find out.
Yeah. So good luck to all of the legal teams that are ready to take this on.
I did hear there's a tattoo artist in Vegas offering to do tattoo removal or something like that. I saw that this morning.
No way.
Like discount or something like that.
Well, there might be people who, I don't know anybody with a Bassnectar tattoo, so I think it might be beneficial to let everybody know that again.
Yeah.
So there's a tattoo artist in Vegas, y'all, if you're trying to get it all covered up. All right. So that's enough bad news. Let's talk about some good news. So as we've mentioned, the world is starting to open up. And we here at the Festival Addicts have been very busy and are very excited for an event that's getting ready to take place next weekend. And Liz is actually joining us because she's going to talk about it. So Liz, tell us about Electric Cookout. Now, we've talked about this before, but tell us a little bit more now that it's closer to the date and everything.
Yes. So Electric Cookout is going to be in San Antonio, and it's on Saturday afternoon, evening, April 17th. It's going to be a food and music event. So it's an outdoor event with plenty of space. And it's at outside the live, it's the 800 Live is the venue. And so it's in its event parking lot. So it's very large. They're going to have Nitty Gritty as the headliner. He puts on a really good show. I've seen him before and I really like him. It also has Electric Polar Bears, Little Fox, String Queen, Glitter Soul, Harry, and they had a DJ contest. And so the DJ contest winner is going to play. There's also another artist that hasn't been announced yet. So it'll be interesting to see who that is too. Afterwards, they're doing a after show too. And it's going to be in the 800 Live. That hasn't been officially announced, but it is happening. And then
you're hearing it first.
And then there's also a pre-party on Friday night, and that has it's not on the website. I'm trying to think who it is, but it's another DJ who actually played this past weekend in, where was it that Pooja went? What was the thing in Texas this last weekend? I think it's like YDX or something like that. It's someone I haven't seen yet, so I'm very excited. That's going to be on Friday. But I feel like, so if people don't know, I have multiple autoimmune disorders. I have had to pretty much stay secluded. So this is my first real big event. And I do feel very safe about going. I actually am getting my vaccine this week. So even though I'm not 2 weeks out, but I have my first shot, I still feel very safe going because I have looked into this. They're using the Clear Health Pass also for the event.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are their like safety protocols that they're going to use? Because I remember Mig said it in the comments in one of our earlier shows, and he was talking about that they were going to have safety protocols. So tell us about the Clear.
Yeah, so I don't know a lot about it except for that Clear is going to be, I know it's like in the airports, like you can show your vaccine card or you get a test. If you have a negative test, you can show that. So I don't know the details. I should have looked that up. But it's an outdoor open air venue. And even with, I know there's not going to be more than probably 1,500 people, maybe 2,000 max, because they're not going to allow it to go over where people can't have space. So that's the good news. And when you're outside, you can actually have quite a few more people because of how COVID is. And there's usually always some wind. And I feel very safe about having space. They have a VIP option where you can book tables, and it's $99 per person for VIP. Other than that, it's $20 for the ticket. And they've got food vendors, like local food vendors, Texas food, phenomenal. You know, I'm excited to have some great Tex-Mex because I haven't had Texas food in over a year. And I miss my Southwest. Like, I want real food. So, and some good barbecue that week. You know, I miss my Midwest. So, it's going to be good. I highly suggest, if you're looking for something to do and you're not ready to go straight into the festival world, but you still want some space and you want a little bit of like walking around, this is the thing to do for $20, and it's from 4 to 10. I mean, come on. You can't beat that price.
Yeah. In addition, I just kind of want to add to the safety protocols. So yes, they're going to be partnering with Clear. So that way anyone who has it, they can link their COVID-19 like negative test results and vaccine confirmation. But in addition to that, they are going to modify everything so that everyone can enjoy it via social distancing. So masks are still going to be required. Social distancing will be there. They'll have extensive sanitizing protocols, as well as they will be enforcing the social distancing between parties and like their tables and like the grass seating areas. So they're really going to do everything they can to make sure that this is a safe event. So that way, if everything goes accordingly, there's no spike in cases, we can get more of these. And maybe, just maybe, they'll bring one to California. Yeah, because I'd be all for this.
I know this is the first hopefully many, and I do believe that I think this is going to be a really amazing event, and I think it's going to go all over the US, and I'm really hoping that other people will come and see it and then want to bring it to their hometowns.
And just based off of their park and raves that they've done before, they have a good track record of being able to have good events. And, they were the first ones to kind of improve their park and ride experience by having, like the drive-through photo booths and having the performers walk around and the fire installations and stuff like that. So they were the first to kind of bring that. Now, granted, I haven't been to a park and rave event, but I just remember doing the interviews with everyone who's gone and being able to hear the improvements from the very first to the second and, the ones that they've had subsequently. And I think that, I think this is going to be a really good event, and I am hoping and praying for the success. And I really do want it to come to California. I would love to have an electric cookout out here.
Yeah. And actually, I'm sorry, the road to electric cookout, the event was this past Saturday. It was YD.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, but yes, I do know there's going to be a post party, and announcements should be coming. I would expect this week on that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey guys,
that's so exciting! Yes.
Breaking news.
What?
Somebody in our group actually got a refund from EDC Las Vegas for their camping.
Shut up! Really?
Just got the email right now. That's up on the screen. So yeah, they refunded them their camping.
Oh, that's nice.
So that must mean they're not going to let you camp if it's going to be in the winter. I wonder why. A little too cold?
I imagine Vegas does get cold. So
it does. It gets really cold at night.
Hold the phone. So we got the first. Okay, so we're hearing about this return for camping. So that means EDC is not happening in May.
Might not. It's yeah, they got a camping order. He never finished paying it off, but they refunded him the money. So,
well, I wouldn't want to camp out there during that time. Like, even if it's like October, because I've been in Vegas October, November, and December, and they've all been cold, like unnaturally cold.
Well, now I'm wondering if I'm going to see if my RV pass got refunded.
Maybe they're not letting anybody. Well, it would make sense. Like, I hope they don't have anybody camping right now. I don't think that kind of thing has been tested yet. I know they've, in other countries, they've started testing having like live entertainments without social distancing. So Amsterdam has done one, the UK, not the UK, but Germany's done one. And
Spain
just recently Barcelona.
Yeah.
So recently they've done them, which is all amazing science that's being done because we need to know, but no one has done like one to include camping. So we may not necessarily get a camping festival for some time. That's good news.
Abu Dhabi, which we'll talk about later, they're doing camping.
Oh, they are doing camping.
Yeah, but they're Texas. They're not everybody else.
They're Texas. That is true. That's a whole other ballgame.
Yeah, and Texas decided they were opening last month as opposed to waiting to open like everybody else. So since there's the refund for the camping for EDC, there's no guarantee it's going to be happening in May. So what? Nobody on the show has a Insomniac passport, right? So what's happening with the passport payments? Because that's really going to dictate whether or not.
Well, people we know with passport payments. Actually, our friend Cynthia did a big post about it that they're not starting passport payments again until August. So, and I think you should have the passport. That if you have the passport, you will definitely be able to get the EDC still. So
okay.
So I would assume I'm not seeing anything on a refund for my RV pass. So I'm going to assume they're just cutting the camping. But I would still assume EDC is not coming back until later in the year.
Okay.
They could still do RV because it's a little different. You have your own.
Think of it like this. I'm thinking if they refunded the camping passes, they're basically saying we're going to not worry about that infrastructure we would have to put in there for parking and camping and all that, and then just let everybody go. So
we'll see. I'll log in later tonight and report back if I see anything on the RV
Yeah,
side.
I know Papa Pasquale put out a post last week talking about there was going to be an update coming very soon. Nobody has forced his hand yet. That was how we got our last update for EDC. Somebody leaked it. So I need whoever is on the inside who might be listening right now to force this man's hand so we can get some kind of announcement so we know. But that's just, I would really like to know like how this is going to play out, because that's going to be a really big one, because Coachella is already rescheduled until next year.
For sure next year?
Yeah, for sure. They put out the announcement a couple weeks ago.
I still have tickets.
Same.
Well, it rolls over. Everything rolls over. That's like the beauty of all of this, is that everything that we've purchased between 2019 and 2020, it all rolls over, which is great.
Yeah,
because,
I have one festival paid for next year.
Yeah, like I freaking still have $3,000 tied up with Tomorrowland, and I'm still waiting for them to tell me exactly what's happening. So I don't know, like it's crazy, but I'd like to know, because I have an EDC ticket. It sounds more and more like I'm going to be selling it if it happens, but I don't know. But it'd be nice to have some type of idea.
Yeah, everybody, if you're out there looking for your EDC ticket, it's at frontgatetickets.com. It took me forever to figure that out.
Oh, it's Frontgate.
Yeah, Frontgate tickets.
Yeah,
so.
I had forgotten. Mine is paid off, so it's...
Yeah, I want to double check too. I went and looked. I'm like, I think I bought 2, and yeah, I bought 2 tickets. So.
So we'll see how this plays out. I'm hoping that with everything, the way it's progressing, we might get something. I don't know. I'm hopeful though, because I'd really like to get something.
I think we're gonna get some things going. It's gonna be really nice.
Yeah. And at the rate in which everyone is getting vaccinated, like I'm surprised that I know it's at a slow rate and it's a slow pace, but the rate in which, because I live in California, the way Californians are getting vaccinated, and with, the rollout of Johnson & Johnson, I think that a lot of people are really taking this serious, and they're qualifying it. And if you happen to be listening, you live in California, I think starting this week, anybody who's over the age of 16 are now going to be able to get the vaccine, or actually get an appointment to get your vaccine, regardless of which one it is. And I think we are distributing all 3, Pfizer, Moderna, as well as Johnson & Johnson. So that really does give me hope. Yeah,
that's good.
What they said that we are at, as a country, we will reach 75% vaccination. I think in like 2 more months.
That's really good. I know the president was talking about that they're going to try to have everybody vaccinated, or at least push out more by June. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, we're going fast right now. Other countries are mad at us for hoarding vaccines. So.
But there's a lot of other countries who are having a lot of problems with just the companies that are making the vaccine. AstraZeneca is really predominant in like Africa and Europe, and their efficiency isn't as high. So they ran into some complications. At least I know in like Nigeria and like Northern Africa. So, I mean, I can understand, but I mean, something's better than nothing. But I do want to ask you guys something. So there's been this thing floating around the internet of a possibility of people enforcing a vaccine passport. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on a vaccine passport?
Gimme. Tattoo it on my forehead so I can do anything I want to do.
Okay. Give me something more. I'm for it too. I'm fully vaccinated. Liz is going to be fully vaccinated this week. So it's no problem for us, but just thinking about it fundamentally, like, do you think that it's okay to enforce a vaccine passport? Because this has come up. This isn't the first time, like, I've heard about it. Yeah, it's floating around, but I've heard cruise ships, certain countries want to enforce a vaccine passport. So like, how do you really think that's going to play out? And I mean, do you think it's okay to do? Because there's people who are very anti-vaccines.
Those people who are anti-vaccines, okay, be that way. That's not a problem. But if you are vaccinated and you should be vaccinated to most of the strains, then yes, you should have freedom to go wherever you want to go. And if you choose not to be vaccinated, I don't think you're traveling anyway. So you can stay at your house until we get to herd immunity, and so we don't lose herd immunity because you keep wanting to be reckless.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there who are Facebook doctors who are telling people with all the research they learned on a toilet how this is not right or how it's fake. And personally, to me, I don't trust them. And it's sort of sad that people today don't realize how dumb they are. And I understand how stupid I am. And
Bernard.
no, I'm dumb. I'm bona fide dumb. Because that's why I listen to doctors who tell me what to do and what not to do. I'm not going to sit there and try to read old Joe's live journal about how he knows he's okay against the vaccine. Nah. People were dumb. We had one source of information instead of have many sources of information, and people have their own platform to talk about it. So if you really, really don't want to go through this and you really think this is bad for you, you do not have to go do it. But just like you don't have to drive a car, but if you do drive a car, you need a license, you need to take a test, you need to make sure it's registered, make sure it's working. Same thing.
I like that argument. I really do. Yeah. When you think about it like that way. Because I was thinking about it from a perspective of maybe they're going to try to force people into getting the vaccine. And I don't think anybody should be forced to do it. I think that it should be something you do of your own volition. But I don't think that you should be ignorant to it to try to put someone else at risk because you don't understand or you don't believe or you don't think that it's really as serious as it is. Because there's a lot of people who still believe that it is very similar to the influenza virus. And we've seen that not to be the case. But I think about it from that perspective instead of seeing as from the perspective that you just presented. So I really like that, Bernard. That's great. This is why I wanted to have an intimate conversation. We don't get this kind of stuff regularly.
Yeah.
On the show. So Liz, what's your weigh in on this, on the vaccine passport potentially?
I think because I know I'm going to get the vaccine, I guess I'll be okay with it. But I definitely see that point of people who are not wanting to get vaccines, or I do have a friend who's allergic to iodine. She can't take the vaccine. So unfortunately, like she's in a very precarious spot. And I know if I were allergic to iodine and couldn't take the vaccine with what my medical issues are, it would be turning my life completely upside down. Oh. And yeah, that's a hard one. I haven't given much thought. I do know that there's an international vaccine passport that's going to launch next week. Mostly it's for like Europe and traveling on Europe, but I think that'll give people a better opportunity to travel internationally without having to quarantine.
Yeah.
And that's more the type of thing I'm thinking of is, yeah, so I'd be happy with that. But it's, again, we're in a spot of, we live in a digital world now. And, that's one more thing you have to remember a passport or a password for. And
oh gosh, not another
so back to that whole thing. I'm like, it's not as easy as it was 20 years ago. And I guess, but if you think about it, you had to carry around that stuff if you were traveling. So I guess in the end, I'm for it, but I feel for those who are anti-vax or not in a position where they can take a vaccine.
Those people who are in a position where they can't take it, I feel for you. Those anti-vax people, sit down on the side until everything gets right, then you can come back out and play.
Yeah. But I think that's just really important because that's starting to become a thing that we might really have to deal with, whether or not, we're all going to be fine, but it could come down to that. And I don't know like what the repercussions of having something like that is. But I mean, if you require immunization cards for, to register your children for school, like I don't think there's anything wrong with having the vaccine passport. But I do think that there needs to be some type of control for air, for flights and cruise lines and things like that. I think there should be some type of proof that, you don't have it. Even if it is like a rapid testing that they require, or having a negative COVID test, I think that's still going to be really important. And I foresee that being a thing for like the next year. And I would be okay with somebody doing a rapid test before I get onto a plane or onto a ship or before I go into an event. Like, I'm not going to argue with anybody on that. Like, I think that is the best way. Give me my rapid test for COVID and let me walk through a metal detector. I'm perfectly fine. Like, I'm not going to argue with anybody with that because safety is important. I think it's really important.
Yeah.
So,
but this is the first major pandemic in the digital world. It's been 100 years. And as the doctors have said, we were due for one. So this is the new normal for now.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I think it'll be okay.
Yeah. So I got some breaking information.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot reveal sources, but I can say supposedly EDC Vegas is happening.
When?
And it is happening in May.
Is it really?
So this is what I have, and this is from someone inside. It's happening. So
really?
I would guess that Bernard is correct in the fact that the camping side might not be there, but it looks like it's going to happen.
In May, huh?
So we should know more information.
EDC tickets for $1,400 right now. I know you got it.
14 more information with that stimulus check that just came out.
Y'all with the kids, $1,400 each. I know y'all got it.
Yeah. I think we'll know more on Friday, is my guess. Monday.
Okay.
So, wait, what's today? Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday. Yeah.
We should know by the end of the week.
I certainly hope so. I want them to tell me what's happening.
If not early.
StubHub.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So, and yeah, I can't say anything else right now. I'll tell you guys stuff later, but it looks like EDC's a go.
My goodness, I'm so glad. Look, when I said somebody forced his hand, like I was sort of kind of joking, but like this is what's gonna happen. I would like to know before the end of the week.
I'm buying my flights now.
That's so funny. All right,
and
so
I'll just be in Vegas for that weekend for the hell of it. Oh well.
Yeah, it's gonna be my birthday weekend.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, if it's going to be the same weekend that it was originally scheduled, that was the whole reason why I was actually going to go to EDC last year, because it was my birthday weekend. So
yeah, I will give you more information, but there's a conversation happening right now and I can't say anymore.
Okay. We can't say anymore, but you heard it first.
On the list. Yeah, put it on the list as it's going to happen. That's going to be wild. I'm not going. You guys have fun. Holy smokes, that's going to be wild.
Oh, dude, that's going to be the biggest festival after all this lockdown. Like, it's going to, like, people are going to lose their minds.
People are going to lose their mind.
I'm there for day 1 and day 2. My day 3 is going to be sold. I'll be flying home that night. I know better. You're telling me right now we have 6 weeks to prepare to the biggest damn rave that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
6 weeks to prepare. I already planned it the last time. I'm only going to do 2 days, which would be Friday, Saturday. But now I'm like, Friday, Saturday. My Sunday's definitely for sale. I'll be flying home Sunday to recover on Monday. So
that's so funny. Maybe you guys never did this, but when EDC, like when it first moved to Vegas, I went the second year it was there. And for like 3 or 4 years, I would always leave EDC at 5, get back to the hotel at 6, and then shower and get to the airport for my 7 a.m. flight, and then be at work at 9.
No, not doing that. See this body right here? It's not made for that.
I was on, I don't even know what I was on, like what I was thinking, like why I even thought that, and why I thought that multiple years in a row. Because I think I did that 3 years in a row. And then my last year I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Because
you're a doctor now, that's why.
No, that's not. No, I wasn't back then.
Yeah, but you're a doctor now. You don't have to work it hard anymore. You're good.
No, oh my gosh, no. But that was just awful, just like brain dead. Like you still hear the music in your ears. And it's like noon, you're like exhausted, you've got no sleep, and everybody at the airport is all dressed in like their costumes from it. It's like everybody left the venue and went straight to the airport, and everybody was in all the terminals. Like that was my favorite part about it though, was walking through and just seeing all the EDC gear and seeing all the costumes. Like people were still in like leg wraps and like fluffies and in a jacket with their hat on. I was like, these are my people. And I'm so proud of all of us for getting home so we could go to work. Like it was insane. But I sort of kind of miss those days. I really do. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. So we've talked a lot about COVID vaccines and everything. So, I mean, it only makes sense for us to talk about what's coming up next. So Liz, you're on the East Coast. So
I'm on the East Coast.
How is the good old Northeast handling reopening? Because we all know Texas is opening. It's already open. So how are you guys handling it up there?
So we are opening. We're like almost to the final stage. Things are rising, but when I mean rising, I mean our highest percentage has ever been 4-point-something%, and they're at 3.6, and it's like kind of leveling. Mm-hmm. So needless to say, I still feel like I am very fortunate to have been in one of the states that have taken this so seriously. And yes, we may have been very drastic, but we've been able to have, seating inside. We've been able, like, even if it's 25% capacity, we're moving forward. And New York has done a really good job of everything. So I would say by mid-May, end of May, we'll be probably fully open. Okay. Our state is now 25% fully vaccinated. I want to say they said 50% have at least had one vaccine shot. And by mid to the end of May, we should have anyone who wants a shot can do it. Today, they had their first walk-up clinic to get your vaccine, and you didn't have to have an appointment. And tomorrow, they're going to have a bigger one. So I do feel like we will be safe and open. By June 1st, it's all go. And life will start being back to normal. By July, we're fine. So as long as the new variants don't mess anything up, we've been very heavy at getting everything back to go, but still staying safe. That's it's still going to be, I do feel like people, it's just smart to, when you're out in public in crowded spaces, have a face mask. The number one thing is have a face mask if you can socially distance, but I think life will be much better, by the beginning of summer.
Yeah. Well, as you know, even though, the vaccines have rolled out and, there's a lot more research that's been done. These vaccines have been tested extensively since they've come out. And, the CDC is talking about how if you've gotten one of the 3 vaccines that are offered in the States, that it will provide you some type of immunity and protection against some of the variants that are now present, that have kind of been going around. So there's at least that. So at least we might still be able to have some protection as long as as long as it doesn't mutate so much that we can't. But I think we'll be okay for the ones that are out now. But that's just some really good news. And even if you are doing like the Moderna or the Pfizer vaccine, your immunity and your protection that you have is, 90% and above after your first dose. So, I mean, just make sure you get it. Like, if you can, just get it. I think it'll just be better for all of us. And even though we've had the vaccine, we may not catch it as much, and we may not transmit it also after, the immunity is like full after that 2 weeks after your second one. But these are just things to keep in mind. But definitely the whole mask wearing, even though the CDC has said that those who have been fully vaccinated can dine indoors without social distancing, it's just to give everybody that added protection, to continue to use these safety measures until we can get, herd immunity, or everyone can get, the opportunity to be vaccinated. So, but that's great to hear that you guys have been taking, such good care and focusing on just getting everything back to normal safely. I love to hear that. That's great.
Yeah. So that gives me good hope. I've got tickets to some shows coming up in New York City. I'm going to see if they're going to still happen or if they're going to be delayed. So we'll find out.
Yeah. But, so kind of, Bernard, do you want to tell about the update that's happening on the West Coast, how we're opening? Well, you can tell us about Seattle. California is opening starting the 15th, I think. We're going to
start right now. So yeah.
Oh, you're in California now. Okay, great.
I've been listening to the news a lot. California is currently going to be open mostly the 15th. The only LA County is holding behind a little bit, but you're vaccinating very, very quickly and very, very well. That they're now going to have, they're going to start having indoor events the 15th. So I got notice from the Clippers that they're going to start selling tickets soon. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I heard LA has been doing like phenomenal work to, administer all of the vaccines into like the really impacted areas that were giving them some troubles with the vaccine. I mean, with COVID outbreak. So I think that's fantastic. They've been doing a really good job getting everyone vaccinated. And also, for anyone who is trying to get a vaccine, it is very difficult with all of the different sites that they have out and all of the different locations. But if you are interested, you have the time. Cal State University, Bakersfield, which is a little bit of a drive to Central California, but they are giving out the vaccine for walk-ups. And I think it's Johnson & Johnson, because I don't think people can make that drive twice, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a student. They are open to the public. If you have the time, you want to get out of the house, you can go and get your free vaccine there. You don't need an appointment or anything, because it is a little bit difficult and tricky to work the system in order to get that. So it doesn't matter where you're from. You can go ahead and come out here and get your vaccine. So that's for anybody who is interested in getting that, because they are giving them away. So that's my little public service announcement.
Seattle is opening everything right now too, but they're doing a little slower. In Seattle, I think Seattle has indoor dining now. We're at 50% indoor dining. I think they're on track I think everybody can get a vaccine if you want to get a vaccine in Washington State. And I think we're on track to get back to normal pretty soon. I recently went to saw a comedian in a comedy show in Seattle a couple weeks ago. So The comedy show is open. Everybody had their mask on, and if you were at the table and you weren't eating, they came back and you told you put your mask on, please. So saw a comedy show. Everybody's still doing everything they're supposed to do, it was it looks like we're about to hit that moment where it's time for us to get back to normal-ish. So
Okay, so now that things are starting to open up, it looks like projected at least by June, or we'll have some form of normalcy. What events are you guys most excited to attend?
I'm excited because I'm going to Dirty Bird Campin'. So that is in mid-May, the week before EDC. So I'm really excited. And once you're in, you're in. So it's one of those, you can either show your fully vaccinated card, or you can take a rapid test on site. The rapid test is $60. But as long as it's good, then you're in. And go ahead.
Is the rapid, if someone doesn't have the vaccination and they don't do the rapid test, are they also allowing them to get their own COVID test and show that, or is it one or the other?
It's one or the other at this point in time.
Okay.
Whether or not that's going to change. And the reason is more for safety protocols more than anything.
Okay.
Even though on the news they were talking about, yes, there are some people that are doctoring up vaccination cards. So you just have to, make sure, we're going off of trust here on this.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like with where everything's going to be at that point in time, which is, I think that's going to be a good point. It is in Orlando, Florida. I know Florida has been its own thing along with Texas. But the whole reason why I'm okay with going to that versus a regular festival right now is because the protocols are so strict that once you're in, no one's leaving. And I am not sure if it's the same with the staff, if they're having the staff stay on site too. But they did say today that it is no more than 2,000 people. So, and they have actually, they aren't allowing all the rooms to be booked. So so they capped it out. The venue capability is 3,000 and the whole hotel capability, but they decided we're going to go with 2,000 people total. That's it. So
limit capacity is good.
Yeah. Limit capacity.
Y'all, just FYI.
Yeah.
Liz may be right. Because I'm checking the hotel rooms for that weekend right now for Vegas.
Yeah.
On Hotwire. My normal shitty $20 hotel room is $75 that weekend.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So
the prices of the rooms are legit.
Let me
increase.
I'm telling you right now, that is for real. Like, I am breaking it that it's happening.
Okay. Ooh.
I can't tell the public why, but I can say this is from an extremely trustful source. And I'll tell you guys after the show. But this is like, I wouldn't have said it if it wasn't like an in for like a real in. But yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So Ubby Dubby is going to be the first festival. But I'm still a little like about Ubby just because timing and all that. But Texas is Texas.
Yeah, and Texas is definitely.
And Florida's Florida. But because camping it'd be one thing because we're all there the entire time. That's why I feel very safe about camping's probably going to sell out by Friday. If it hasn't already, because they were converting everything over. I'm actually excited because 2 of my friends are actually playing on the docket. Hot Pot is one of my friends that I met and saw play down on Friendship in January last year, and Subset, who I have watched him since the beginning of lockdown, and he's also Ship Fam, both of them Ship Fam. He is playing, and he's one that I honestly think he's up in Seattle, by the way, Bernard. And I love what he does, because he does everything, and he's fantastic. And this wasn't, as far as DJing himself, that wasn't like his goal. He works in the industry, but now he's got a career actually doing this. So I'm super excited.
That's great.
Plus to see all the other, 2 live crew. Come on. When else is anyone ever going to see 2 live crew? I'm going to go see 2 live crew and all their nasty songs.
I want to see Liz watch 2 live crew live.
I am going to watch 2 live crew live, and you're going to miss it.
No, I don't. No. I want to see my show is watching you watch 2 live crew.
Oh my God.
I really want to see Liz yell out, "Fuck Martinez, fuck Martinez."
Yeah. Or all the pussy songs.
Oh yeah.
I was looking it up last night. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. So I will have the crew videotape me watching 2 live crew. We'll see how much I remember.
Live stream that for me. I will be.
Oh my goodness!
I will sit there with a bottle of beer and some shots and sing along with you, just enjoying watching Liz lose her damn mind to 2 live. That sounds like the most amazing day of my life.
That's the very first thing on the lineup, and I was like, wow, that's some old school coming to camping. But they're Florida, and so they're from Florida. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be very interesting. I'm actually pretty excited. It's gonna be pretty hilarious.
That's great.
They announced themes today, or teams. Because you know how they have teams, like at camping, you were either green or blue or yellow or red, I think. And for this, you could be flamingo fam, scuba something, or alligator. So in our camping chat, we've all been going back and forth on if we wanted to choose a team. We've all finally said, okay, we can all pick our own teams, but we are going to do. So it's interesting. Camping does teams. Home base does theme nights. So we're going to get teams and theme nights.
Oh, that's great. I love teams. Yeah,
I love teams. The alligator people wear Lacoste when they go in there, even though it's a crocodile.
Yeah. So
Same family. Same family.
I'm excited, but I'm very excited. That's my.
So, all right. So, Bernard, what event are you most excited for?
Being the flower boy at my friend's wedding.
I was just going to say that's going to be, that's the event I'm most excited for too. So, me and Bernard are going to tag team, and we're going to be the flower boy and girl. And so we got to work on our routine and everything. So that's actually the one thing I'm most excited. And Inside Source is saying that vaccination is a guaranteed ticket to the wedding, so I can go now. I'm so excited. So yeah, but I actually
Duke Dumont right before my birthday.
Yeah.
Duke Dumont, the Shrine Expo Hall. I put it up on the screen. I will be there, and I'll be in a hotel room afterwards because I ain't driving nowhere that night. I'm going to have the best time ever.
So is he going to be doing new music, or is this just kind of like just another show? I hope he does some of his old stuff.
I'm pretty sure he's going to play for if it's just Duke Dumont for 2.5 hours, I'll be there. It wouldn't bother me. So,
yeah.
But they have classics, and I haven't heard from classics in a long time, and they do some pretty cool groove music, and they're doing a DJ set, so that's going to be cool. Think of it like New Groove, if you know Jungle. Or Anderson .Paak, like that groove music. So classic's going to be right before him, and I hope he just plays. I hope Duke Dumont just plays every damn thing, and until we get kicked out the place. So
until they shut everything down. Yep. No, I'm all for that. I might join you for that one, Bernard.
Get your ticket now. They're almost sold out.
Oh, seriously? All right. I think I'll buy my ticket when I get off.
Yeah.
All right,
that's
guys.
access.com. AXS.
AX. Okay. All right, guys. I think we are out of time. I hope everybody watching enjoyed our intimate conversation that we had and, got something from it and learn something new. That'd be great. And if you're interested in knowing what events are coming out, you can check our Pinterest in the next couple days. We will be posting all of the lineups, announcement, news that we've talked about here on the show, and things that we didn't quite get a chance to cover from last week. So check that out. Don't forget to show our Twitter, our Instagram, our Facebook, our YouTube, our Twitch, all of the social media some love. And before we close out, everybody, why don't we tell everyone where we can find you on social media? So we'll start with you, Liz.
You can find me on Instagram at lizzy.may, LIZY.MAE.
And Boss Man?
You can find me at notyourmochaprincess.com and Instagram at Fat Black and Awesome.
And I am your Mocha Princess on Instagram. That's where you can find me. So we hope everybody enjoyed the show today. Thank you all for joining us, and stay safe. And don't forget, get your cookout ticket if you have nothing to do this coming weekend. Next weekend. Yeah, I know, I had to catch myself. And if you are going to any event, let us know which one you're going to, and we'd love to hear about it. So thank you, everybody. Have a good week. Have a safe week, and we'll see you next week.
Hi, Hector. Hi, Skylar. Thanks for sitting by.
Bye.